Hi guys, I'm Megan Graham. This dating secret is going to make a big difference for a lot of people. Years ago, I had no idea about any of this stuff, and I was probably the worst dater in the entire world. The biggest thing you have to know when you're dating, and this is the most basic thing, and people will try to tell you this left and right, you have to love yourself first. If you have not found a way to love yourself, you should steer clear of dating because you'll only get hurt. Because if you don't love yourself, you will accept treatment from people where they don't love you and they don't treat you well, because if you don't love yourself, then that's exactly what you think that you deserve. So first rule is love yourself. Second rule, have a life and keep that life after you get a boyfriend. A lot of women have a life, they have a very full and active life, they're busy when they're single, all of a sudden they get a boyfriend, everything revolves around their boyfriend. I would be waiting on a guy that just couldn't make plans, so I also didn't make plans with my friends. And then at the end of the day, I was left with, you guessed it, no plans. Make plans with your friends. Let the guy fit himself in. Keep up with whatever your passion is. If you have a hobby, do not just forget about your hobby because you have a boyfriend. That is so boring and it's so not true to yourself. And if and when, let's face it, when you break up with that boy or that man or whoever you're dating, you are going to feel more alone because you won't have your own life. So always make sure that you are standing on your own 2 feet, that you have your own stuff going on, and who you are is not determined by someone else. So basic, but so many of us forget this. My third most important rule, and this one was really hard because everybody will tell you not to do it. Everybody will try to talk you out of it. I think that there's a feeling in our society that women should be easygoing. The man will fall in love with you and then you can magically say that you have all of these, all of these needs, or that you don't like it when they don't call you at a certain time even though they said they would, or you're just supposed to be like this easygoing doormat. That is so incorrect. You really have to set your standards. I love my husband. He is one of the nicest, most thoughtful people, but when we started dating, he had a really, really bad habit, and that was that he would say that he would call at a certain time, say it was 8 p.m., and I would wait for that call because we were dating long distance, and getting a call was actually important to me because that was how we were getting to know each other. And so he would very casually never show up to the call and then, say, hey Megan, how are you? 3 hours later. I remember bringing it up to a girlfriend of mine and she said, no, just let it go. You don't want to act like you're difficult. I said, I want to act like I have standards. I wouldn't accept that from a friend, so I'm going to say something. I did. First, he didn't really understand it, but I just said, look, it's our date and I feel like I'm being stood up. Bowed at him. I didn't yell at him. I just told him how I felt. He started calling me at the time that he said he would call. And maybe that sounds so basic, but I guarantee that everyone is telling you to keep your feelings to yourself, not to tell people how you feel. And the truth is that if you do it kind of like the way you would have a business meeting, not in an emotional way, not where you wait until you're mad and you're screaming about it, but when it's just a super, super small thing and you say it, things are going to go so well. If you don't, he'll never know what you think, and by the time you tell him what you think, the guy feels tricked. Because you didn't tell him how you felt in the beginning. You acted like you were the most easygoing woman that never got tired and didn't need to make plans and was never thirsty. I think we've all been there. And the truth is, you're a person and you have expectations and you have needs. So isn't it so much better to just let someone know you from the start instead of pretending that you don't care and you don't have feelings? I will say that the one thing that I'm not telling you to do is to tell someone everything. People need to gain your trust. You want to get to know someone, so you don't need to show up on the first date and say, I'm Megan and I've been divorced 18 times. I've had 30,000 therapy sessions. And whatever your problems are, I don't think that it means that you have to just, splay them out on the table the first date either. I mean, be a person with some standards for how you protect yourself as you get to know someone. But the whole point is also be an honest person. So anyway, I hope that this helps. So many people don't do it. You are better off to be by yourself and to learn to love your time with yourself than to spend tons of time chasing after a man and trying to bend yourself into what someone else wants to be. or rather what someone else wants you to be. The most interesting person in the world is you when you are yourself. And if somebody doesn't like you for you, they're not going to like you later on anyway, because eventually everybody that you spend time with they'll know the real you. If you need to work on you, if you need to become a different or better person, fine, then do that, but don't pretend to be someone else. Those are my most important dating tips. Thanks, guys.